Welcome back. Part 3, interviewing CaraGalbavi of CaraGalbavi Law. She is a great friend, a business associate, and just a dynamic woman. And I am always inspired when I talk to her. And she thinks that I push her, but I think she pushes me because she might get me to be running in a race here in April, which I don't really like running. I'd rather lift weights. Running kind of makes me angry, so maybe I need to run more so I'm not so angry.
You have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, probably. So maybe I'll learn to love it. Kara, when you run, help me out. Maybe give me some tips. When you're running, do you try to train in a certain way or have a special diet?
I train in a certain way in that it's intentional grace.
What's that mean?
For me, it is, even if it's a 5K, if it's a half marathon, if it's a 10K, it is allowing myself to walk if my body feels like it needs to walk, and starting out very, very slowly. And I laugh when I tell people when I'm just starting out training, it will be I run for 30 seconds and I walk for 5 minutes, and then I run for 30 seconds and I walk for 5 minutes.
We could probably do that. I think I can do that.
But being intentional and being graceful with yourself, that just getting out there, and even if you walk, you're still moving forward, you're still getting out there, and at the end of the day, you did more than you did the day before. And just building on everything that you do. So the next day, you might run for 35 seconds and walk for 4.5 minutes, and just slowly building up. So it doesn't have to hurt. Obviously, you're going to push yourself, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, but doing it in bite-sized amounts and giving yourself enough time to train for a race. If you have a race coming up in 3 or 4 months, giving yourself all of that time to build up instead of worrying 6 weeks before the race or 4 weeks before the race, I haven't done anything. Just building yourself up to the point where you get to race day, you've done all the work, and now it's just time to enjoy it, not to freak out the day of the race because you've never run that far before.
Not like you're cramming for an exam.
Exactly. And so at race day, you can take it all in and enjoy it and have even more better memories, because the next time around, you'll know that you accomplished that, and you can just build on from there.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Now, do you use the electrolyte product when you're training?
Oh yeah, I honestly, I love running at night. I love running in the dark. I love running in the rain.
Allergy attack.
So generally, I'll end up running after dinner or shortly after dinner. And so throughout the day, I'll hydrate all throughout the day by drinking water and drinking my noon, making sure I have all of that in my system. And then as soon as I'm done running, too, drinking the replenishment. There's multiple types of noon, so I'll actually drink the one to recoup more electrolytes and the salts that I've lost through sweating. And then making sure I get something high protein in my body as well. Just from different, trying different things with diet and with eating. I've just noticed that if I eat, maybe if it's, a banana right before I go, and then literally 2 tablespoons of peanut butter when I come back into the house, the leg cramping and the next day the soreness is less. But obviously making sure I'm hydrated, making sure I'm sleeping well, doing the foam rolling and doing the stretching. You can't just go for a run and then be done. You actually have to take care of your body, otherwise your body's going to hate you the next day. But it allows you to do some self-care, whether it's some stretching and yoga, just releasing some of that muscle tension that's been built up from the running.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Good tips. So, looking at 2019, either professionally or personally, is there anything that you have on the docket for things that you want to accomplish?
Professionally in the business, my goal is it's 4 estate plans a month. 2 of which I would like to be bigger estate plans, full trusts or complex trusts, packages and that sort of thing, along with like some business creation and development, so maybe 3 or 4 on top of the estate planning I'm doing. I always my business tends to come in waves, so I will have a lot of business startups at the same time, or I will have a lot of probate going on at the same time. But for the steady work of doing the estate plans and the business creation, I would like that. And in order to get those clients, I just have to keep up on my calls or my follow-ups. And it's not cold calling, but through the period of a few weeks or months, I get a lot of calls just in or emails in from potential clients and customers, and it's on my end, my homework to follow up with them, because it's not something they want to think about. Things in their life take precedent, so it gets pushed to the back burner a lot of times. And so one thing I've learned through my own personal coaching is to make those calls and push myself to make those calls, because a lot of times I might be uncomfortable calling, and I feel like I'm
salesy.
I don't want to feel salesy or pushy or like I'm bugging them, but a lot of times I get thank yous. A lot of times I get, oh, I've been meaning to do that. Thank you for lighting that fire under my butt. Because it is important, and they know that they need to do it. They just don't want to think about it. And a lot of times, if they just give themselves a little time to do their homework or get things back to me, I get to take on the burden then and then do all the drafting, and so it actually takes it off of their plate to do. But making those follow-up calls, even to clients that might have come to me over a year ago, it's surprising to some people, not me any longer, but there are people that I've been playing phone tag with back and forth for a period of 3 or 4 years.
And when it comes to estate planning, we're really talking about our own mortality, and so that presents a different dynamic to talking about something to check off our checklist. I know in my practice, I find a lot of clients that we've got everything done, and I don't practice law, but it's the thing that I always circle back around on, because I know how critical it is to a smooth functioning financial plan is having the estate plan done. So I'm really glad that you continue to reach out to your prospective clients, because it's truly a service that you provide that is critical, because we all need it at some point.
And it might just be timing,
It's
again,
absolutely timing.
they might have experienced a loss in their own family, and it's rekindling their need to do it themselves. Or there might be a job change or a family dynamic change. It might be a divorce or a remarriage or an adoption, something fun, a new child, or someone might be planning for retirement, and now that they want to get things in order. So it's just a timing thing. So I have to make those calls in order to make my goals for 2019 come to fruition.
And there is something else that you had shared with me, that you're looking at starting a local chapter.
Yes. So along with all of the local community organizations I belong to, I'm also part of an international group of childless by circumstance, not by choice, but by circumstance. And it's called Gateway Women, and it was begun by a woman by the name of Jody Day in England, currently of Spain. But she has created regional workshops, and I actually went to one in Louisiana this past year, which was kind of a life changer, where you find your tribe and you go through an intensive course with them. And she's also created regional chapters. And so if you submit your application and she approves you, you can begin a regional chapter. So I'm going to begin a West Michigan chapter.
Congratulations.
Here shortly, because it's one of those taboo topics. Nobody talks about the fact that they've gone through a loss or that they're suffering silently with childlessness versus being child-free, which is a decision. But if it's a decision that you weren't allowed to make yourself, it was just, and there's a slew of reasons of where you can be childless. And in mine, it's just the infertility and the inability to hold to term. But to have local resources and local support, and many times there will be triggers that happen and there isn't anyone to talk to. I have my support from the gals and the women I met at my workshop, but they live in Louisiana and they live in Texas. I have my support of women that I know through Gateway Women, and we have an online Google group that we have community-wide, which is really nice, because all hours of the day and night, if you go on, there's somebody on, because we're worldwide, which is really nice. But it would be really nice to have a cup of coffee, or be able to sit down and just be able to vent about what the most recent trigger was, or an event coming up that you're really nervous about, or how are you going to handle when somebody begins a conversation a certain way. So I'm like really excited to begin that local chapter,
A
a new
different connection,
a new
when it's
endeavor.
face to face with
Mhm.
somebody here locally.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Be-
congratulations.
And be that resource for people.
All right, so we'll look to that coming here in 2019. When we think about ways to get in contact with you, we have the web. So would you like to tell us, how people can find you, if it's for a connection in the community, an introduction to, an opportunity, or if they need your services?
Absolutely. So the easiest thing would be online. Through my website, my email is right there. So it's CaraGalbaviLaw.com, which is my first name, Cara, C-A-R-A, Galbavi, which is G-A-L, B as in boy, A, V as in Victor, I, law.com. You can find all of my contact information on there, including my email address, my physical address, and my phone number. I am located downtown Grand Haven on Columbus. I do have there's a call box on our office building, so I can't take walk-ins. So if you wanted to just pop in and say a quick hello, there's no guarantee that I can answer the door. If I'm in an appointment or at a meeting, it'll buzz through, but I won't be able to respond to you. So always make sure to either call or email me ahead of time so I can be present when you're here and be able to answer the door. So again, 128 Columbus, downtown Grand Haven, and the phone number is 616-935-1030.
Okay, great. And you're a chamber member. You're probably on the
Yes, I'm on the chamber website. I'm on for the chamber ambassadors. I'm also on the Spring Lake Rotary Club website as their membership director. I'm the contact person for that. I believe that's probably the only organizations that you can find my direct contact information for.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So when you meet with somebody for the first time, do you offer a free consultation, or what does that part of your process look like?
I do not. Generally, it will be wrapped up in their overall fee. I do a lot of what I do on flat fee, but initially the initial consultation will be billed at my standard hourly rate. Just knowing that you might not walk away with a product or something tangible, but I will be advising my client or prospective client during that time, and it is of value. And so I bill accordingly. And most times people don't have a problem with that because they know that they're receiving the advice and the experience that has come with my years of practice. However, I would like to extend to you and to your viewers, if you specifically say that you've seen either of these videos or any of these videos that I've done for Melissa, or visited Sunkissed and Blessed online, and your visitors let me know that, I'll waive that consultation fee for you, so that we can have a conversation one-on-one, and with regard to whether it's estate planning or probate or business or real estate, or if it's just simply you want a connection or you want to know how to get involved more in the community. And be happy to meet with people about those things as well. So
okay,
yeah, be happy to offer that invitation.
Great. So CaraGalbavi Law, located downtown Grand Haven, Michigan. And Cara, thank you so much for your friendship and your partnership and how we can serve our clients together. And thank you for taking the time to allow me to interview you. And it's hard to toot our own horn, and so I needed to toot Cara's horn because, as you can tell from these interviews, she's amazing, and I just want to support her. So thank you, everybody.